surges in. He's going to blinding light Havos back, who now takes the chain. They're going to blow a split here as well. Big commitment to kill off the Bristle. And can they even do it? The Quills start to stack up. He's going to continue to pursue him out, throwing him up in the air with the Cyclone, back down to earth. Havos still very tanky at 10 more stick charges. Not able to get them off. Simultaneously, Kuro. Can they catch him? Can they get off that initial sleep? No, they sleep the illusion. Oh, that's not the right one. To thwart it in their efforts. This will open up the mid lane for Denny, though.
I don't even know if they get that kill, though. If he sleeps right one, he just wakes it up with an illusion, too, and then just runs away. So it's still very low probability.
Maybe if you sleep him, sap. Well, then you want to brain sap, though. Sap to kill the illusion. Yeah, that would be tough.
So apparently you can sunder illusions. I did not know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that the other day.
Well, they need to protect the stack, though. Well, I guess it's almost a dead stack, but Puppy was working on it earlier.
I will say this Elder Titan is giving a hard time to Kuroki. He's farming well and using Sunder to stay in the jungle, but you can see how powerful that Elder Titan is against a fairly squishy Terrorblade at this stage of the game. But Yacha's now up for Kuro. He is just completely free farming. Now the leader in CS, he's been very efficient in the woods. He hasn't. There's been the one gank attempt on him, which is a tough one without Vendetta or level 6 on Bane.
Elder Titan might actually be very good versus Terrorblade. Looking at Terrorblade, he has 14 armor. Well, actually 15 once he's switched to Edge.
It's really good against them.
Yeah, and 700 HP with like 3 armor to a Bristleback and a Death Prophet, he's just going to get melted.
Yeah, the Chinese teams have been when they give away Terrorblade, they normally do either pick or ban Elder Titan depending on what team they're on. But go for a sleep top lane, and let's see if Havos can start stacking up that goo. Goo number 1. But it's now a level 3 chain, so the range is a lot greater. Kills on fly aren't so easy to come by. They bring in Dendy as well. Really getting close. It's just a little awkward draft-wise for NaVi because so much of their play lately has been this like 5 to 20 minute mark aggression. And they just don't have heroes with levels to make it happen. There's no Blink Initiator with a stun. There's no level 6 on either support.
It's very hard to have that game plan though versus Brewmaster.
That's true.
Like 5 to 20 minutes is just where Brewmaster just wrecks people.
You see they want to do something. Yeah, Dendy kind of ambles towards top. The supports have been smoking, but they just don't. They can't find like an easy, clean opening. Frustration for NaVi in some ways. Gold now tipping the way of Secret slightly, very even. Experience also their direction. Have still that one tower advantage. Death Prophet in this game, but I've yet to crack a tier 1.
And it will be a Crimson Guard rush for Bristle, or for Bristle.
Very good versus Brewmaster. And actually illusions in general.
Yeah, still, I mean, heroes will hit for, what, probably around 200 with the
main hero, yeah.
With the main hero, and Crimson Guard only blocks 50.
And it definitely isn't a great... it's definitely not going to be good enough late game, that's for damn sure. But for the mid game, it might give NaVi that push over the top that they need.
It gives them a lot of armor, too, which is very, very important.
The other nice thing with Bristle, no mana cost. That's a bit of an issue. If the mech build not so common lately, just because the increased mana cost in 6.82. They're starting to group here. They be pushing? What do you think? Is this their time? Looks like it's their time.
Yeah, they have Chakram as well as Keeper Illuminate to deal with it, though. They have to, like, catch them by surprise, though. They can't just, like, hey, we're going to group up at our T1 and then slowly push towards their T1. That's just way too much time for Secret to react. So, ideally, they'd go in with, like, a Vendetta at FNG behind and just pick off any stragglers and then transition that to a tower push. Ideally, Panda, but...
They're going to try for it anyway, Ben. Exorcism pop. Very far back, though, is Bendy. He does not want to get caught out here. Glyph, not available. They're going to lose this tier 1 for sure. Is there even a deny attempt? No attempted, or none attempted. Secret not really trading directly, but just kind of waiting this one out.
That's still really good for them. Only 1 tower down in 15 minutes versus Death Prophet, who had a relatively easy time in mid due to no supports coming. That's
they get off the Vendetta initiation. They snatch the stun Simba, but they got to get in front of him with that follow Carapace to actually get a kill, and that's not going to happen. Does Captain Carapace, the Brewmaster clap. Still, Chakram coming through. Crimson Guard not going to save you from that. As Vangscore heads to the right, he'll be cycloned and dealt with. Do they go for a boast as well? No. They're just going to take the Bane as their prize. A 2-0. Though they did lose a tower, and it did cost them a Bruce split.
I think Vanscore actually messed that fight up really badly for them. They had the very nice Carapace post clap from Brewmaster, which gives them like an extra, what, quarter of a second or 3/4 of a second to react, do the split, and he didn't grip me. And they had already used a Fire Blast too. So
Dendy, this is a struggle for him. That extra Fire Blast comes through, Illuminate off the mark, not gonna matter. S4 finds another kill. Kuro barely able to survive. May just sunder a teammate. Yeah, go back to well. He says, I got better things to do, like farm. Havost will find a trade and Puppey retreating out, but that is a Keeper of the Light for Death Prophet, and still the free farm mounts. Kuro, he's got his Manta. It's a 16-minute Manta Aquila Treads. He purchases it. We'll go for it immediately. S4 being pursued at mid lane. We got 2 goos up. The stun cooling down. FNG trying to maybe Carapace clap. Other Titan ultimate. Let's come through. Now they'll grip Simba though, and he gets held in position. This is the much easier kill. They're going to club him down. Nice turn there for NaVi. Makes it a 2-for-1, but do they take a tower on the back of it is the question. Because if they don't, well, Kuro, Manta still free farming now. 1,000 gold lead or so. And we might see a round 2 of this engagement. FNG in position. Havost in the front lines. He has his Crimson Guard ready. Not popping just yet. Goes for the stun. Gets it on 2. Nicely done by FNG. They need follow-up here to bring down S4. Will the evasion procs be with them? They're not. Kuro now splitting and trying to engage. Doesn't have a Sunder. He's going to pay with his, like, FNG barely falling to that last auto attack from a creep, I think it was. Puppey getting credit for the kill, though.
man,
The tower drops mid. Suddenly, NaVi getting aggressive with great success.
the Crimson Guard is just ridiculously strong at this point in the game.
So fast.
Yeah, I mean,
Havost went from being 800, 900 gold down, just want to mention, and now he's 600 up. It's like a 1,500 gold swing in terms of catch up with that Terrorblade, and overall, a 2,000 plus gold swing in favor of NaVi.
yeah, generally when I see Crimson Guard, it's like 25 minutes and onwards. It's usually gotten, but if you rush it with Bristleback and this early, it's incredibly effective.
Yeah, he's been beefing up, and Havost not picks up Assange. So we might just see a Halberd rush for him. That's a pretty potent item, just have evasion against Starblade, who generally doesn't build MKB, and if he does, it's not early.
Sage Inuyasha, man. I feel it.
Do say that on like the Chinese alchemists, but they play kind of similar. We'll have an engagement mid lane. Blink Clamp is there. FNG did pop Vendetta. Can he turn this one around in any way? A little bit of, well, they're going to go back for Dendy. They'd rather try to kill off the Death Prophet, surrounding him, but the Impale comes through, nearly finishing off the Timbersaw. With the Brain Sap, they'll secure that kill. Another death for Fly. They continue to mount. Dendy's still alive. They'll need another Boulder Toss. They don't get it in time. Blink Clap, and the crits there. S4 does it the hard way, alone. FNG with another Impale, but the multicast from Big Daddy will secure that one. Another death for Dendy as well. Both of these are struggling, and this is without Kuro. He's off in the top lane, doing that Terrorblade thing. He's going to take a tower. That will not be contested.
I like how Secret doesn't play passively once they have the Aegis. But that's what most teams would do. Like, oh crap, they have the Aegis, and then they would just wait for Navi's ultimate to be up and then push another tower. But instead, they strike immediately on the offensive with S4 using his Primal Split because they know that Death Prophet probably used Exorcism for it. So they immediately go on there, and I mean, he could have also blinked out and it wouldn't have been that bad of a fight for them, but instead he blinks in and gets 2 more kills on the Nyx and the Death Prophet, so they're just pushing Navi. It's like, hey, we know you guys are ahead, but you're going to have to work to keep that lead.
Yeah, we also know that your, as you mentioned, the Exorcism's down, and your ability to fight is fairly limited. By the way, what are your thoughts on this Midas on the Elder Titan? He went for it pretty early, and it's starting to add up now. He's up to 2k gold. Do you think it's a Midas game?
Well, it depends on when Navi think they can end the game, and if they don't think they can push high ground by like 35, then it's probably better for him to get a Midas. And they don't have any other Midases on their team, so I think it's okay.
The one thing we've seen a lot of lately with Elder Titans is actually the Ags, for the additional disarm.
That ult's so hard to hit, though.
Yeah.
Like,
unless you get a really good Impale on FNG.
I think you're generally better working towards his strength, which is natural order, and further augmenting the damage with either a Veil, depending on your lineup, or an AC, or a Shiva's. I generally think is the better way to build him. But I think in some specific scenarios, AC or Ags rather is better.
We also occasionally will see a Hex, just to
Hex is
if
really
there's
good
a
too.
hard to lock down hero, which Terrorblade, not that hard to lock down, but very important to lock down. You do not want him to sunder.
I mean, he can even get a Dagon. Dagon would be pretty good at just straight up killing Terrorblade because he's going to be their biggest problem as well as Panda, and Magic Burst is very, very good versus them, so I wouldn't be opposed to that.
S4 pings out Dendi, but Dendi's going to move in the other direction. He walks straight on in, throws the Terrorblade up in the air. Bankscore also moving forward, but there's 4 NaVi here waiting. Now Havos is on the front lines, racing on to S4. Just a solitary goo to start this. To keep the aggression flowing. Don't want to let any sort of defense be mounted here by Secret. They'll have a blast coming in. Puppey will prepare to unload and illuminate. We'll throw it. Havos turning his back to the illuminate. Hardly even taking damage from that. Jesus, he's tanky. Now takes an Ogre stun as well. Still doing work to this tower. And it's Timbersaw pushing on the side lane, not the Terrorblade, who would do it much quicker. Havos finally dropping low in this fight. His S4 jumped in, but he got gripped. He wasn't able to get off his ultimate. Might have been a Dendi silence there to boot. Kuro still trying to duke it out, though. They're going to lose the Bristle once. Do they lose him a second time? Funnick dropping quickly, and now Phobos gets aggressive. Earth Splitter's there, immediately popping that Sunder. Havos is driven off the fight. What looked to be an awesome initiation. There was no Bruce split there. Still somewhat falls apart. He'll chase on to Bankscore. Kuroki in pursuit. 2 or 3 more auto attacks will do it. He doesn't have brain set mount. He's got a stick. Can't use it in time. They end up dropping 3 in the end. A 3-for-1 exchange, but the tower does go Navi's way.
The power of Terrorblade.
Well, I think Timbersaw got the tier 1 bottom, and they're not done yet. They're out here on Dendi. No Exorcism. Impale to start Kuro. No Sunder. They might actually get this kill. They really need to shut him down. The Blinding Light almost perfectly placed by Puppey. As Navi, Carapace is there. Vi can't retreat out, but this is the real kill. They gotta find Kuroki. He's got a teleport ready. Impale's also available. They're gonna go. He tries to Manta dodge that. It was just delivered recently. Impale, not enough. S4 comes in too late with the split. Crimson Guard coin down at 5. Without that, Havos probably going down here. Illuminate comes through. FNG has an Impale in a few. They're going to Cyclone him up, drop him back down. Chakram will greet him. They even bought back. Remember, these buybacks have much longer cooldowns in the latest patch. That's 7 minutes with no buyback for Fly, but nonetheless, gets the kill on Havos. Definitely worth it for that. As Bankscore also pursued out right back the other way into a multicast. My goodness. Secret. Like you said, they're never afraid. They lose a fight, they'll buy back, they'll fight you again. Relentless from both teams.
They really wanted to get that mid T1 tower, and it looks like they will actually not transition into that. And Kuro still really, really strong. He managed to buy an ultimate ore before he died, so he didn't actually lose any gold. And his net worth is just mounting and mounting, but not compared to Havos sitting at a pretty 11,400.
Yeah, of course, if this goes late enough, it's going to be tough for Havos to do alone. Funnick is going to find a solo kill on Puppey, though, it looks like. Earth Splitters him, drops him back. Blinding Light will be there. He's got to teleport out immediately. Impale from long range. Captain Puppey going down with his ship. NaVi will punish him.
Without that Sunder on Terrorblade, though, they would have lost the fight miserably due to the excellent Fiend's Grip by Manscore. And it might be a little bit greedy going in for a Blink Clap and Primal Split, but he got away with it last time, so he thought he could get away with it again. But the silence just came out a tad bit late onto the Terrorblade, and there goes the majority of your tank. That was like 1,500 HP loss immediately on Havos.
Yeah, maybe he needs some magic resistance.
Well, I mean, the Sunder, they just can't let the Sunder get off.
Yeah, that's true. Havos for now is going to... And actually, there's still a lot of... There's also the Timbersaw, which is going to give him problems as this game goes on. For now, Fly is pretty poor. He will pop his ultimate. Bottom lane, NaVi looking to push in. Wrap around. Maybe a bit of a premature ult.
They're going to lose a tower on top, too. So, at worst, it's a 1-for-1 if they keep on going for NaVi.
There's like no glyph for the Dire. There is no glyph for the Radiant either. But Dendi's ult was almost entirely wasted. There was an illusion for the Bruce cutting the wave, and... the time these creeps come in, the tower's hardly taking any damage. This is an awful trade for NaVi. I mean, it's not a trade at all. And while they try to TP out, they may get caught. FNG, Monoleaked, they're going to Brew Split for this. It's a pretty big investment for the support Nyx, but they've brought in Kuro. Perhaps they try to transition into something else. The tier 1 mid.
Funnick.
Maybe you can look for Roche. The Cyclone searching for Funnick is going to find him. S4 with fantastic micro. As the skywalking spirit of the other Titan rejoins him. He tries to stop. That ain't going to happen either. 3 times multicast for Big Daddy. Another kill here for Secret. Making the slightly better decisions in these, when to push, when to trade, when to fight. They now have the Terrorblade on top. I think it's the first time, well, not the first time, but the second time this game is on top, and time might be for a long time. Take the tier 2 bottom. Mid tower's pretty much a goner at this point. About to be a lot of additional gold into Kuro's pockets. He might have a Scotty in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, and if they get an Aegis on top of that, NaVi is going to have a really difficult time defending against that, because NaVi's strength is this time. It's like the 15 to 35 when Crimson Guard and Exorcism is really, really strong relative to everything else. And slowly but surely it's going to fall off, especially with Terrorblade's ridiculous farm. And the more farm he gets, the shorter their window is.
On pause, we're back underway after a very quick break. Gonna push in all the way. They'll just send the illusions to cut the wave. Creeps are not with them. Okay, I guess they won't get the tier 2 bottom just yet. Didn't have creep support. They were trying to push it in, but realizing they need to back off. Now they're gonna rotate mid for the tier 1, perhaps. It just, honestly, they could just siege that with Terrorblade illusions. They don't have to commit anything to kill it. NaVi will have a glyph ready. Couple of minutes, but, well, actually 1 minute, but that'll probably be too long.
Well, they also have the recall with Kuro, which is kind of cool, because usually Terrorblade's like, well, I either have to split push or I can join the fight. He can't do both. But with recall, he can do both.
He also has his Eye of Scotty already. I thought he needed a few more components, but some of it was already on the courier. That's a 25-minute Eye of Scotty.
He has a really good. He does a really good job of gold management and just buying out before he dies. Which, I mean, it seems easy, but it's actually not that easy.
Yeah, making sure you don't lose any unreliable gold as well. Kuro has done a nice job of it. Got 2 deaths this game, but this is that point where Terrorblade starts to pull ahead, and if it goes late, NaVi, decent AoE if Elder Titan hits his ultimate, but that's not something you can count on. And it seems Funnick isn't going for the Ags after all. He will go for a Hex now, picks up the Voidstone ultimate orb. So they will have some additional lockdown, not just for the Terrorblade, also for the Timbersaw will be nice. But, I mean, you're looking at even the Ogre Magi now coming online. No-Tail gets the level 2 ult. He can start playing the lotto here with that Aghanim himself.
I don't know how he transitioned that smoothly. He was the support that was walking around trying to kill the DP, checking runes, and not getting any stacks. And he transitioned very nicely from that broke position 5 to a very nice Ags wielding position 4.
Yeah, his CS is pretty abysmal. 25. He's the Bane and Nyx, as much as they roam, we're actually ahead of him, but he's 4-2 and 7, and the tower gold is also starting to pad in. Now he can become even more of a threat.
Well, he just hasn't died very much.
Yeah, 4-2 and 7. That'll do it. Dire supports, yeah, 1 and 5 on the Nyx, 3 and 3 on the Bane.
Every time NaVi goes for a tower, Kurogi's right there to trade another one with it. So he gets top, they get bottom, and it's
just how ridiculous this bloodlusted main hero is. Oh my goodness.
No-Tail is goner. Oh, actually, they recall. Oh my goodness.
Shivas, they're going to look to fight this one. The reinforcements are coming in for Secret, and Dendi caught out instantly. Where's the backup? NaVi too slow to fight. Alhavostas to charge in on his own. The Boulder Toss creates the Bristle. Gets multicasted as well. Cyclone, ready. Will be used on the Bane to keep Havost isolated, but they're just buying time for Kuro top lane more than anything. Who's about to begin cracking the base. Another multicast. Ding, ding, ding. As they'll lose Havost, most likely he's still alive for the time being. One more nuke will do him in. Brewmaster blink and clap, that secures the kill. 2 cores, the 2 lead farmers down now for NaVi. And Bank score turns, goes for the fly kill, can't quite get it. 40 HP after the stick charges, barely surviving with reactive armor. NaVi lose 3, they get nothing. And that was without Kuro really involved in the fight at all. He's going to continue using Sunder to maintain the push, and now they're up to about 2,800 gold swing their way. Lead begins to mount. The bloodlusted 300 damage per auto attack, ranged Terrorblade going to work.
Their mobility is just ridiculous with recall. There were like 2 heroes top. They're like, oh, okay, we see a solo ogre. I mean, that's the easy kill. Goes in for the Yules, doesn't have it when they burst him down because immediately 4 people are on top of him.
Now the Earth Splitter on S4, it's not going to connect on anything. And going back to what you mentioned, they don't have much setup. It's just a Nyx Impale, and that's not too easy to land without a Blink Dagger. NaVi's starting to fall off a bit, it feels. A lot of their items are very mid-game centric. It's a Crimson Guard into a Sanj and Yasha into a BKB. Nothing, no Assault Cuirass picked up yet for the team. Dendi has gone for your Yules and the Shivas, but still a long way off from like your 6-slotted Death Prophet status.
And he only has 1200 HP. If he gets multicasted, or Timbersaw burst, or keep the light illuminated, he's just going to drop like a rock. So what NaVi really needs to do is secure Roshan more so Terrorblade can't get it, rather than utilizing it for themselves, although it is a nice pickup for Havos. But giving an Aegis to Terrorblade at this point in the game is almost game over.
Well, after what was a 2,500 gold lead, it swung 7,500 in total, giving Secret a substantial advantage. Actually, a bit more than that, more like 8,500. They now lead by a lot. They're free-farming on their Terrorblade. The Timbersaw is completed its Bloodstone, your Ogre Magi. Not only the Aghanim Scepter, but now can go back to buying all the wards and smokes for the team. This gives Puppey room to pick up a 4-step and 2,000 gold. Everyone's staying relevant here on Secret, whereas some of these NaVi heroes, like Bankscore, 4,200 health, or, sorry, 4,200 net worth. He's starting to fall off. FNG, still no Blink or Force at 30 minutes on a support Nyx. Just not very relevant, it feels.
And Secret can have another BKB on Panda if they want, but they already have one on the Terrorblade too. So sitting at a very pretty, probably 2,200 HP post BKB.
Gonna rotate Havostin. He has picked up a BKB of his own, but the difference is there's just a lot of right-click damage from that Terrorblade now, especially with Bloodlust. We'll see how effective his BKB is. He gets Monolith. He may have to pop it. He's already lost all his mana anyway. He just stands and tries to fight against Croak. He gets stunned by the Monolith. And while that's happening, they jump in on the backside, finish off Bankscore with the Brew Split. The big lockdown for the Terrorblade is out of the picture, and Havos starts getting shredded. The slice and dice is in, as Kuroki will bring him down once. There is a round 2 here. He's saving the BKB for that, but now Terrorblade morphs bigger and gets stronger, and he gets pounding into the Bristleback. His Stomp. Can they get an Earth Splitter off? They're going to need a good one from Funnick. Lets it fly. Impales there to hold Kuro in position. He gets hexed as well. They got to finish him off before that Sunder. 4-stepped away towards safety. He gets it off. Oh, no. Now you probably got to run. Death Prophet ult doing good damage, though. This may be enough to turn the fight. NaVi using that second life to good effect. Puppey in danger. No Tail in danger. But it's still, for the time being, the Terrorblade standing strong. Exorcism wearing off very soon. Yules is there. Dendi's Ghost got to return in time. Nearly dies. Able to survive. And Kuroki also living by a prayer. Just a shred of HP. What a crazy fight. Not done just yet. Okay, we're done now. No Blink Dagger on him. They're going to try and chase, but well, they'll need a Yules, and meanwhile Simba is chaining all the way out. Kuroki sending an illusion. He's trying to bait with this, but NaVi are not going to fall for that one. And he's just sticking around for a while, man. Very confident that he'll get off this next Sunder. All right, I guess he'll be alive in the end.
Both teams know the key to the fight is Terrorblade. They almost bursted him down a Scythe of Vice. A very crucial 4-staff by Puppey saved him right there. And then the timely BKB into the Sunder. If he gets the Sunder off, NaVi isn't going to win a fight. And that was with the Aegis. And it's a 2-for-2. So, yeah, NaVi's timeline is running out very, very soon unless they can work out some very well-coordinated burst onto old Kuroki there.
Yeah, and that's like pretty much perfect chain stun from NaVi as well. The only thing they didn't get was a long-duration grip, but can't count on that at this point. Like, Bankscore is just going to get jumped by the Brew every fight. They're not going to let him grip. And I guess the only way that changes is with a BKB for him.
Yeah, and he's just not going to be able to farm it. I doubt he'll get it before the game ends. And Nyx Assassin working on that 4-step. Eventually, he will get his. He's just a Ring of Regeneration away. And Ogre Magi also working on a 4-step. Gotta save Kuro.
Yeah, they know if Kuro lives and gets off Sunder with BKB, the fight's over. Or at the very best, NaVi retreat, but they're not going to kill him from there. What's their late game transition? Do they have anything, or is it just hopeless?
Well, I mean, Bristleback still does a lot of damage.
You go like Abyssal Blade here and just try and lock down the Terrorblade?
AC more than that.
Oh, caught out with Havos, and he tries to go toe-to-toe here with Kuro. He does pop his BKB. Shiva's also used by Dendi. They exorcist him too. They barely managed to slow down Kuro, but too much backup for him. While meanwhile in the river, Fly is pursued out by Funnick, but the entire gank train of Secret descends. Funnick really chased that for a while. That first slow is here. He's got a Hex ready. He's going to have to pop it. Uses the Stomp as well. Dies before he can get it off. The Earth Splitter was dropped as well. Out of position. Honestly, like, he saw the big skirmish here, and I guess he figured that Secret would back knowing Exorcism was used, but they just came around the other direction, went right back in. That's with Exorcism being deployed. Now it's on cooldown for 2 minutes.
Well,
they just go high ground top lane.
I don't think so. It's not that time. They won't have Metamorphosis up for the... I guess maybe they can.
They could maybe they siege it a little bit rather than like fully committing.
And actually, Death Prophet Ultimate was used.
Yeah.
It might actually be a really good time to push.
See, they're thinking about another Sunder to keep Puppy low and keep Kuro healthy. The bromance continues to pay off here for Secret. Oh, they're just marching bottom lane. They also have a Vlad and an AC. That's such a good pickup versus Elder Titan. Even when he's alive, your team's still sitting on a very healthy 10 armor each. NaVi now being pursued out. Bankscore quickly falling here as the Brew split shuts him down. They can Cyclone and ignore the Brew. They're going to Rax or attempt to anyway. Buyback was used by Elder Titan. Gets the split or the stomp rather on the way out. But then what? Where do they follow this one up? Earth Splitter not available for a full minute. Kuro is now in melee form. Still hits hard though. Bloodlusted, he'll bring down the tower. Secret continuing to play aggressive as opposed to stun once more. Unable to do much in these fights. Constantly mono-league, Puppy. Force step down one cliff, up another. He's skating all over the map. FNG unable to get in range. Big Daddy retreating to the left. Kuro to the south, recalled back to the base. Puppy did TP out. They're so good at protecting this terribly. And it's just, you know, like we see a lot of teams will pick like defensive supports, like your Venge for the swap, or Abaddon for the shield, Omni Knight occasionally, but NaVi, or Secret rather, they just heal him and just relocate him with the Force Snap, the recall. They've done it. They figured out another way to keep him alive.
And at the same time, they're doing a fantastic job of kiting Havos. Pop BKB, immediately everyone turns tail and runs. So they don't have to trade any cooldowns with that, and then they mana leak him when his BKB is down. What is the Bristle going to do? Just stand there and spray? And he can't lose all his mana either. So
yeah, is he going to BKB every time he gets mono leaked? then they just slow him once with Terrorblade and walk away.
And then on top of that, they can Drunken Haze him during the when his BKB's down too. So they have to get a lot of mileage when he pops his BKB. It's just not usually happening. I think he might have to stagger his cooldowns too. You use Crimson Guard for one defensive ability and then BKB for another, not at the same time.
NaVi just haven't been able to keep up either. Just in terms of raw farm, your Death Prophet for Dendi is sitting at 13k net worth. He's 2, 3, and 7. It hasn't gotten the impact that he's searching for out of this hero. Like by the time they tried to force towers, Secret were trading, and often winning fights and getting tower trades.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think he can do that much more though. It's mostly just Kuro pressuring everywhere, getting kills with Metamorphosis or just killing towers.
He's in far here mid lane. The multicast brings him down to half. Or does have his ultimate, but he's waiting for the right opening. They're going to force out the Exorcism. Dendi will BKB as well. They got to commit to get some kills here. Terrorblade comes in from the rear. Dendi, no Yule Scepter ready. He's going to be slowed. No, actually, all those attacks missing pretty much. As Kuro, his own BKB going to wear off soon, but standing strong for the time being. Still has a Sunder even ready if he needs it. Havos now falling back. There's still an Earth Splitter ready. They may have to drop it just to keep Havos alive. Stomp. Will there be a stomp? Havos TPing out. And while that was happening, they did lose Denny's Death Prophet. The Brewmaster split secures that kill. Secret just overwhelming and outgunning NaVi. Kuro's just not even threatened anymore. It's not really just the Terrorblade. It's the Timbersaw, the friggin' Ogre Magi's posting up on you, and they just can't punish it. And these Force Staffs, it's not just kiting the Bristle, it's kiting everyone.
I mean, look at Terrorblade's being kited. Terrorblade's damage is ridiculous. With the Vlads and Bloodlust, I mean, these towers just melt.
It's like the illusions are almost irrelevant. The main hero is doing most of the work at this point. Especially with the Crimson Guard. But it's good enough. He's still, at the end of the day, an incredibly strong late game range right-clicking carry, who's very difficult to lock down and bring down. Havos pushed back by the Blinding Light. He's out of mana again. Puppy is completely shut down his former teammate in these fights. That Mono Leak is such a pain in the ass for a Bristleback.
Yeah, and they even try and force staff him safely, and he just loses even more mana that way. Still, he is their front line, and, well, Death Prophet does have a lot of armor and BKB, but still, no one can stand toe-to-toe with Kuro. Once he pops his BKB and Metamorphosis and Manta, everyone just has to run.
Rip on S4 mid, he does have a split in 10 seconds, not going to get it off. Nice pick there for NaVi.
Gem lost.
It's a gem down too. I mean, you can't expect anything better than that, except maybe killing Kuro, but that's a much more difficult kill.
Can they get the Roshan, though, to extend their lifeline? They have a buyback as well as a recall in 15 seconds.
They're actually looking for more kills, though. With no gem, they know they can get aggressive here. They're going to walk up the... Oh, maybe they are just rushing. No, they're thinking about kills. This could be big for NaVi. Can FNG get off that multiple hero stun? Do they go for Kuroki? Who's the target here? Havost walking up, fighting illusions, while FNG pursues other heroes. There's no force staff on Big Daddy. They impale from FNG. Oh, he clicked right behind where he force staffed, so it shot the wrong way. Made him look really bad, but that was probably just a matter of like a 50, 100 unit misclick. Big one though. That was an opening for NaVi, and they did not take it.
Did you say 1,500 unit misclick?
No, 50 or...
Oh, 50 or 100. I was like, 1,500? I was like...
Not a big misclick, man. Only like a screen. Yeah, 50 or 100.
So this Roshan will extend their lifeline a little bit, and I don't know. They could fight it. It's at 20% though. No, too late.
Yeah, but what do they do with the Aegis? That's the concern here.
They extend the game a little bit longer, and hopefully they get more opportunities to shut down the Terrorblade.
The one thing the Secret did not seem to buy any sentries, but S4 blinks in, claps, and goes directly onto Funnick, who gets off the Hex to start this on Simba, but Simba just walks away as a sheep. Will end up surviving for now. Vangscore using a brain set. He'll go down first and foremost, and they still chase on to NaVi, even with the Aegis. BKB was used by Denny just to dodge an incoming Boulder Toss, so they still chase for Cyclone. They're gonna back off. They scatter. Secret might just be trying to end the game against an Aegis, and geez, that's how far ahead they think they are. Let's check the buybacks here. No buyback on the Bane, no buyback on the other Titan. The new change, he would have had it now. Actually was short on gold anyway, but the cooldown makes it irrelevant. And Secret will just clean up a second lane of Rax. Who cares about Aegis or Cheese? We got Terrorblade. We got Kuro playing it, and that's good enough for us, say Secret. They'll clear out the Aegis to start. Now they go for round 2. Havost trying to go toe-to-toe here with the Terrorblade, but easier said than done, as he's quickly brought down. The Carapace stun will lock Kuroki in position, still at half health. And FNG, well, the gem, will eventually fall to a blink clap. They can probably just go for the throne. They're forcing NaVi back to the well. NaVi even blasting them out of that damn well with the blinding light of Puppey. This will secure a kill, and probably with it the game. Nicely played by Puppey, not just for show, but well, the game was most likely over anyway. Just rubbing it in. GG, that's your call. 32-16, Secret. Run away with this game, and it could turn out to be a big one. NaVi, outside of this game, still look pretty solid, likely to be in the running for the playoffs. Secret with this win here improved to 2-0, and they knocked NaVi down a peg to 1-1.
They had a good idea. It was a nice concept with the Elder Titan and Bristle to try and shut down the Terrorblade, but it was just not an adequate solution. They have to... they need others.
Yeah, it was just they didn't hit their timing windows quite well enough, I guess. And yes, should they have contested Kuro? You brought it up in the draft. Should they have gone aggressive with the Bristleback? Would that have made a difference?
I think they have to. I think most of the time, Terrorblade, first 20 minutes, easy time, easy win.
Yeah.
So just try and shut him down the first 20. I actually haven't seen it run